Welcome to Molossia, the world's smallest sovereign republic. Molossia's current form of government, I guess, it is a republic officially, but it's actually a dictatorship. I'm the dictator. I'm a nice guy, so I'm a nice dictator.
It's like,
I just thought it was a peculiar way to put something on your property and express that you own this piece of land. I didn't think you took it that seriously, but there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I have no problem with that.
The country really is basically a one-man show. When it comes to running Molossia, it's really just pretty much me. I mean, my family are also my citizens, and they do their own thing like most citizens in most countries. So I'm the one that comes up with the ideas, and they'll go along with it.
Yeah, Molossia.
Okay.
Well, I'll be darned. I had no idea.
Yes. Come here. Come here. It sort of poked a little bit of fun at the U.S. and their addiction to dictators, especially back in the 1980s. It was very popular to support just about anybody that was a banana republic dictator, as long as he opposed communism. So.
Is he European? No, he says Molossia. I just wonder how far you can take it with our government. Yeah.
We really have had very friendly relations with the United States, which of course is on all four sides of us, and really within just a matter of meters of where I'm sitting. So we haven't had any real problems there. I think probably largely because the United States doesn't acknowledge that we exist. How's that light doing? We got the cloud there.
Yeah.
We might have, they said maybe thunderstorms later on this afternoon. I'm in this country, whatever, Britain, Canada, whatever, and I just don't like what they're doing here. It doesn't really have the right zip, the right zing, and so I'm going to do my own thing, and I'm going to start my own country.
There are very few ways you can argue against the right of anyone to self-identify. Type of identities that are harmful to the others around you, and there are others that are not. And in most free societies, you can be whatever you want as long as it's not harmful to the people around you. So now, if 5 people want to create a nation state, that would be problematic because it wouldn't last for long, because the people that have a bigger nation state close to that 5 people nation state will take over them, or will annex them, or will laugh at them first and then show them some guns and tell them, do you want us to use them or not? So it won't last for long, basically. That's the
Molossia was originally founded in 1977. My friend James and I watched the movie The Mouse That Roared with Peter Sellers. And we were very inspired by that movie. It was a cool idea, a little teeny country that goes to war with the U.S. expecting to lose the war and ends up winning the war. And we thought the irony and the...
Aim! Fire!
At the border of the Republic of Molossia, and I am waiting for the delivery of the official cupcakes that we're going to be having at our Founders Day party today. Coming in? No. Okay.
First, I was a little hesitant about it just because I didn't understand how somebody could actually have their own country. And then, he told me to go to his website, and that took me into it, and it has definitely grown over the last 11, 12 years. But I do remember looking at it just thinking, wow, how many people can actually say they have their own country and mean it? You drive up to Molossia, you have to cross into Molossia border and get your passport stamped. That is just absolutely unique to me, and to say that I can be his pastry chef or a friend of Molossia just means the world to me.
Good. I think I'll be doing this quite a bit more. So I feel that Molossia as a nation is very much a child of the Western United States. Free-thinking, wide open spaces kind of thing. A lot of mining history, a lot of Old West type history. There's a sort of an independent spirit that goes on with folks that live out here in the western U.S., out there in the western U.S., if you will. And I think Molossia certainly personifies that independent spirit.
If there is some beauty to the idea of a nation, is that people choose to live together according to some principles, and if you're alone, you don't do that. There's no transcending your own needs, your own selfishness to a degree, and I think a nation demands some sacrifice. And so there's a slight tension here between the idea of a micronation, between the purely individualistic, hardcore libertarian principles and the demands of a nation, which are communitarian, which demand some sacrifice of individualistic needs and desires.
Placing a country inside another country that's not recognized by that country, I think definitely brings the question of what is a country? Are countries even necessary? Or is it really more important to talk about what we do as individuals and as a world community?
So, to a degree, Kevin Baugh may be compared, I suppose, to Socrates. It's giving him a lot of credit, perhaps more than he deserves, but I think what he's trying to do is play the gadfly, push us, invite us to question these notions of state and sovereignty that we completely take for granted in our daily life. On the other hand, Socrates himself actually never questioned the laws to the point that he refused to obey them because he preferred to die rather than jeopardize the city-state of Athens. So perhaps Kevin Baugh goes even further. It would be interesting to know whether he actually pays taxes to the United States or not.
And the answer to that is we give foreign aid. And it's basically the same amount of money as the taxes. It actually is the exact same amount of money as the taxes. We would only hope that the U.S. would use it wisely. So if you've seen their roads, you understand why that is. My first guests have arrived, and while we wait for other guests to arrive, they're going to go take a smoke break, and of course smoking is illegal in Molossia, so they're going to go back into the United States to take their smoke break, which is a good thing. They're following our laws. So, and there they go. They're headed out that way. I think that's pretty cool. Molossia is very dedicated to preserving the environment. And also, that's why we ratified the Kyoto Protocol. We like to, I guess, set the standard. Make a special effort just to try to be as environmentally conscious as we can. Because I think there's certain nations, for example, the U.S., that they feel that they can't, they can either do one or the other. We can protect the environment or we can be successful in business. And I don't think that's true. I think that you can meet halfway. Molossia. Oh my goodness, and look at this guy, an army guy. Uh-oh. Not my army. That's it. Strange as it may seem, in my little teeny country, we actually get quite a few visitors. This is our claim on Venus. There was a variety of things that are not allowed to be brought into Molossia. 14 Nortons. This is a Norton. Yes, we have our own measurement system here. Incandescent light bulbs, those are really bad for the environment, so you should ban those yourself and replace them with fluorescents. Plastic shopping bags are banned. They're very bad for the environment. They are not primed for the plastic bag thing out there in America. That's Molossian Standard Time, which is 39 minutes ahead of Pacific Time. President Chavez of Venezuela decided he wanted to have his own time zone, and I know he copied that from us. The population is 6. That includes myself, of course. My older son, Mark, who's stationed in Germany with the U.S. Army. My younger son, who still lives here, and our 3 dogs. And we used to have one more, my wife, but she moved off to Texas, so I guess you can consider that a defection in some sort or another. So yes, these are my citizens here. 3 of my citizens right here. Yes, they are. And we take good care of each other. They've kept me sane on some rough days. So anyway, and they also perform security duties, of course. They'll bark at anything.
It's not such a laughing matter after all, because some people have, animal rightists have argued that we should give animals personhood, legal personhood, so as to entitle them to rights and more protection than they currently have. So if that's what Kevin Baugh wants to do in his own nation state, I suppose he's ahead of the curve in many ways, because he's actually implementing a policy that animal rightists have been pushing for in vain for many, many years.
I do think that the advent of the internet has changed. Actually, I think it's changed everything when it comes to Molossia. Before, and it really was just on paper and in my head, but I just filled up notebooks full of ideas that. Once the internet came along, coupled with us obtaining property here in northern Nevada, the two just sort of caused a total metamorphosis of the country, and it really expanded into what it is now, a real physical place, and someplace you can actually visit and be in and experience as a real country. Here you go. There's yours.
Oh, thank you.
Now there's a page in there where you can fill in your own information. Yeah. Well, missing a significant other was a significant blow. She was sort of a greeter at that time. So there you go. And there you are. Thank you. Congratulations. Thanks. Absolutely. You consider all Molossians to have dual citizenship. We are a very small country. We cannot exist on our own. We definitely need the United States, and we definitely like the United States. There's no problem having the United States right next door, because if it was some other country, they might have already rolled up the driveway with a tank and said, you can't do this.
Well, actually, it was doing the mail route, and we only dropped a package off here one time, and that was it. And then my girlfriend Sam told me, we've got to go over there. And so here we are. And we still don't have any idea really exactly what it's all about.
So anyway, cookie dough, it's also the basis for our currency. Our currency is based in cookie dough. Absolutely, it has a value. Unlike, we're not really sure what the American currency is based in, but we're not that new anymore.
I've worked with Kevin for 19 years, and when I started working in HR, I heard about Molossia. Found out today was Founders Day, so here we are. He just seems to enjoy the whole persona of it, He loves being the dictator of his own country. Hey, it's his property. He can do whatever he wants, I do whatever I want on my property, so.
We really don't have a debate about why go into space or why go underwater or anything in Molossia. Of course, a lot of that's because there's really no debate. I'm the guy in charge, and that's just the way it is. Regarding the space program, in the past we've been able to launch pretty successfully here in Molossia, but we have to be careful because if the rocket comes down and it's hot, it can start a fire. So what we've done more recently is to go out to an area we call Misfit Flats, and it's actually where they filmed the movie The Misfits back in 1960 with Clark Gable and Marilyn Monroe, and it's a desert dry lake. And it's actually about 10 miles east of here. It is a good example of the dual citizenship thing, of being able to go and launch rockets in the U.S. You know, it's not unlike what Russia does when they send their rockets up from, I think, their cosmodrome in Kazakhstan.
1, 0.
Just keep that, you know, that spark going, that fire going inside you. And the space program, underwater program, whatever it may be, anything like that, exploration is what the human mind does. And I think it's important. Continue to reach for something bigger and something beyond. But it's just not logistically possible to launch rockets every time somebody comes and visits the country. So I came up with this idea that you, the visitor, can in fact launch a rocket. And if you launch a rocket, oh wait, that's a bad one. They're all mixed up because of the wind. This is all bad. Oh, goodness. If you launch a rocket, I will make you, Sarah, wait for it, an official Molossian space cadet. So, all right, I'm gonna go right here. One more time. Oh, is it gonna go on the roof? Is it coming out? I'd like to have people come here, see our country, see what we've got going on, and just enjoy the experience.
That's cute.
Great. Well, how are you?
Wait.
At this rate we're going, we're probably going to end up with like 20 or 30 tourists a year, which is pretty amazing considering it's only 1.3 acres in size, and it's not really even it's not a country that's recognized by anybody. Though we do get requests for citizenship fairly regularly from other individuals that would like to actually move here to Molossia, and we have to discourage that because it is a very small country. We can't just have you come moving in. India and Nigeria are very popular places to move from. I've had many micronationalists, budding micronationalists, contact me. How can I really make my country independent? And I hate to rain on their parade, but I tell them straight, because you can't. You really can't. I mean, you need to work within the constraints that you have all around you. Fly your flag, signs, whatever you need to do, that kind of thing. But you don't want to go much further than that, because it's probably not going to end well for you. I honestly don't really have a long-term plan. I don't have a secession plan, but I'm not really sure who's going to take the reins once I'm gone or going. Let's see. Okay, you got one? Okay. I have hopes that one of my sons, or perhaps even my grandchildren, will take over. Certainly hope for that. I would like to see 1,000 years from now, oh, that's going to sound bad. I'd like to see in the future that Molossia is still around. Maybe in the distant future, there'll be a Molossia here and not a U.S. You never know. Don't close your mind to new ideas. Don't close your mind to new places, new concepts. Too many people, they have fairly, what you call it, straightforward lives. I mean, you know, it's just basically go to work, go home, you know, raise the kids, watch TV kind of life. And there's more. You've got to keep that spark in your life. You don't want to get to a point in your life, towards the end of your life, when you look back and you're like, yeah, what exactly have I done for the past 80 years? Because it doesn't have to be that cubicle life, that everybody's the same, doing the same thing, heading in the same direction. It can be different, if you want it to be. There's cool things you can do that don't involve starting your own country. So, you know. If you want to do that too, that's great. Shoot me an email. I'll help.